recording. All right. Thank you everyone for joining me today. And I know that this topic is of interest to everyone. There's so much hype all over the place about the changes to NAR and this settlement and how it's going to affect us and what we should be doing. So today I am going to give you a couple of updates, and we're going to discuss a little bit of what you can be doing now to prepare for when these changes do go, and how to talk about it when people bring it up in conversation, and so forth. So first thing, we know that these big changes are coming. And originally it was announced that they would be implemented in July. As of now, they have pushed that date back, and it's not going to be implemented until August 17th. Should that date change again, we just have to sit and wait. But as of now, it's August 17th. So when you're speaking with anyone, you let them know these changes haven't taken place. I'm going to go over just a quick summary of the policy changes and kind of break down what they mean as far as each section of it. The first is to limit and prohibit the requirement of offers for compensation in the MLS. If you remember, there was in our listing agreements, there is a section that says if you're not offering compensation, we couldn't enter into the MLS. Well, that's going away. So our listing agreements will probably be altered, and those lines will be taken away. The next thing is that they ask for NAR to retain and define the word cooperation. So we always refer to cooperation on the buyer's agent being our cooperative agent. They're going to have to redefine how that is being used. So very little effect to us there. But then it comes into the big ones. It eliminates and prohibits MLS participants and sellers from making any offers of compensation in the MLS. So I want to remind everybody, this doesn't mean that sellers can't still pay for compensation. It just means that we cannot put it in our MLS and a couple other places, which I'm going to continue as we go on my list. So yes, things are going to be changing, but it just means we can't put it in our MLS.
Your music is
and
that iHeartRadio or YouTube?
It's Spotify. Is number 5 on the settlement is to require the MLS not to create or support any other platform or mechanism for compensation to be offered. So a lot of people started saying, well, let's just start a different one that isn't controlled by NAR. But as of now, I don't know how that's going to play out, because they're saying that any multiple listing service cannot do that. So with that being said, I don't know how that's going to play out. Then it also prohibits any data feed directly from the MLS to be fed into any other platform that may be offering compensation. How this is truly going to change, because that includes Zillow, Realtor.com, and so forth. And as of now, if you are having the updated versions of those two most navigated, like I on Zillow, all of us can go in and add additional comments into Zillow and be able to add more. Well, we can't put anywhere on Zillow because it has a direct feed that compensation is going to be being offered. I am not quite sure, because they haven't defined how it works when we get IDX feed onto our personal sites. But as far as I would think, even if I offer on my personal site anything, I'm still pulling data directly through IDX. So I don't think we'll be able to even do that, because that's been a lot of questions agents have asked. Can we advertise it on our personal websites? Yes, you can, if you don't have IDX feed on it, because you're pulling the data from the MLS. The next one, the two go.
That's the same one that's in my feed. I wanted
MLS cannot filter
a white on white, but I want
based on compensation.
Like
as of right now, we have that. And if you put in 3%, it'll only show listings done at 3%. Not saying that any agent has ever done it. I would hope not. But that you can't do, but with that whole field is going away. So it kind of ties in.
You're gonna be able to see
handling
the solid
it.
white? Okay.
Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I have muted everybody. If you're not muted, please do so. The next is that we will have to just have required disclosure signed. So these disclosures are going to have to be signed by sellers and prospective buyers and sellers. It goes on the next level of it. It goes into this disclosure with buyers, which they haven't. Ours would be put forth by the Florida Association of Realtors. It has not been designed and created as of yet. Why they are still finalizing all of the changes. This is why it isn't implemented, but it has to be signed prior to you even going on tours, prior to you showing property. To me, I think this is a great thing, and it's going to, and I think a lot of people should have been practicing this already. We get a phone call. Hey, I saw this house. I want you to go show it to me. We jump in our car. We meet them at 4 p.m., show them the property. Well, it eliminates a lot of things for you as the buyer's agent. One, it protects your safety, because for somebody to be signing something, you've already gotten emails to do an e-signing, probably have a little bit more information on them. And B, it's also going to help them. They're not going to start signing anything unless they're a really serious buyer. So because we know we don't want you wasting your time with someone who's not qualified and doesn't have finances in place. And, you know, I had somebody come to me and they said, I love this house. You know, we want to go see it. We want to this. I go through the pre-approval process and they're self-employed and they can't get financing. So I would have wasted time running around and showing property if I didn't pre-qualify them and get them done prior to. And nobody wants to waste their time, I'm sure. So those are the summary of the policy changes that will take effect. Now, in the meantime, while they still haven't taken effect, what should we be doing? Well, one, as we stay focused on your fundamentals, and on those fundamentals should always be that we are building strong relationships and demonstrating your value. So continue on all of those fundamentals. Continue on having your buyer's presentations prepared and great
Let me
listing.
not put this one.
The next
Yeah,
is,
I know, but I wanted it
let's
like
call it a
on my
professional
feet,
fee. Let's get away from that term commission.
like this
A
color.
lot of agents
That's what I
are
was asking.
commissions, and the more that we eliminate that and call it a professional fee, the better it'll be for all of us.
Can you mute Yolanda?
By calling it a professional fee.
Yolanda, you need to mute
more
yourself.
to the value of what we're doing than just commissions off of a percentage of what we sell. Okay. And in addition to that, when your people are referring to cutting your rate and discounting it, I always like to refer to them. Would you look for a doctor or a heart
Okay, she's
surgeon
gonna do
that
one
can
of
cut their
them.
rate and discount it for you?
Cause it looked dark to
When
me.
we're talking about, you know, everyone's going to want to know, what are you doing for me in order for you to be earning this professional fee? Well, if anyone's ever sat on my listing presentation class, I have a list of about 40 bullet points of what I do to market the property and get the property sold and get them to contract and close. So I never have people fight with me because I have it clearly outlined on my listing presentation. On my buyer's presentation, I have it outlined too, of every step that we take.
No,
So when
I
they
want it
see
light.
the amount of work that goes into it, it eliminates some of that for them asking us to cut our
Let's go
commission
with something
or
else.
do
then. Let's
away
go
with
something
our
like
professional fees.
a
The
funny
next is
bunny.
to leverage
Like
your
a funny-
education.
Yeah, let's go with
You
that.
study the first step. You're on this call today. There's a lot of other ones that the board has been offering. NAR has videos out on their site. Continue to absorb as much as you can. It's going to make you be able to speak more confidently to your prospective clients about these changes. And it'll also help you be a little bit more proactive in maybe the way you do lead generation. Maybe your lead generation is going to now shift from buying buyer leads somewhere to maybe it's going to focus more on seller leads. Hold on one second. You guys are asking me to mute people. Okay, I think I got everyone muted. So with that, I think that by doing that, it'll really help you. Now, we know that because it's in such the public media, this is all out there, and buyers and sellers are reading all about this settlement. And the first thing is on listing presentations. I know I've gone on them. Why am I still doing this? So how do we talk about this? One, first of all, stay away from the negativity. You have a lot of people standing around complaining about this, blaming NAR that they didn't fight for us. And in my eyes, NAR did fight for us because all it says is we just can't advertise in the MLS. They didn't say that things are changing. It just was our MLS that changed. NAR is doing their best to keep us still in business. So with that, keep away from that. Listen, and there are going to be a lot of agents that leave the industry and say it's going to be too hard and they're going to, but first, always keep it a positive. It happened, we're going to continue to move forward. Next, explain to them the changes that will be taking effect and that it has not taken effect yet, that it will not take effect until August, and possibly they may postpone it once again. And then the third thing to do when you're talking about it is to continue that value proposition. Continue to let them know what you offer them, what sets you different. On some of our calls, we've talked about value propositions. We've talked about the possibility of advertising, giving away a portion of your commission or professional fees. Let's get the habit of saying that, to charity. Give them that value proposition and work on that. And I would probably stay away from social media. I don't know about any of you, but I'm a part of a lot of groups that are real estate mastermind groups. And it's been very negative and people get very confrontational about it. And it's not helping anyone or doing anything. It's not going to make changes. So I would probably stay away from posting, ranting, venting, or anything on social media, engaging with other agents on social media. I know some of you are in group chats, and those group chats should just be designed to let people know about open houses or new listings. It's not to complain about anything or put negativity out there. And the last one is on my list of things when you're talking about the settlement, I would also advise everyone to stay away from that. Well, we deserve our professional fees. We deserve this. We deserve that. Don't argue with anyone about it. Just show them the value of what you do and why you earn what you earn and why this is what our industry has been paying us for years. As long as you have that value in place, and if anyone wants to reach out to me outside of this call and go over a listing presentation, a buyer's presentation, how to put together value propositions, how to put together bullet points of what your marketing strategy is for all your listings, or how you separate your buyers and what you do a little different, I'm happy to sit down. I do it by appointment only. I will reserve an hour. We can do it via Zoom or in the office, whatever is your preference. Probably right now, I've got some personal things going on. I'm probably going to keep it via Zoom just for everybody, just a little bit easier on my schedule. But I'm always here for your help. As always, I will continue these every Thursday at 11 o'clock. Time never changes, login never changes. As we see changes, I will discuss this. If not, as always, most of my trainings are always focused with 3 intentions in mind. It's to increase your income, keeping your business consistent, and anything I can do to help lower that cost of doing business by bringing you new tools, marketing strategy, lead generations, or anything that is relevant to us. With that, I do want to wrap it up. I do always keep these to that 15-20 minute mark. Everybody's time is valuable. With that, thank you once again for joining me, and go out there and make it a great day.
Linda?